said to them, "Wherever you enter a house, stay there until you leave from there. Whatever place does not welcome you or listen to you, leave there and shake the dust off your feet, in testimony against them." So they went off and preached repentance. The 12 drove out many demons, and they anointed with oil many who were sick and cured them. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
So yesterday, in the starting part of Mark's Gospel, the 6th chapter, Jesus Christ speaks about lack of faith. Today he pushes it a little bit further and says, have a blind faith. Because how possible can you set out on a journey to a place you don't know with no preparation, but setting out, as the Gospels say, with just a walking stick? It's almost like madness, you might think. But Jesus Christ, in other words, to kind of remind his disciples to learn to see things in faith, invites them to set out on this journey of evangelization, of witnessing, of testifying to the name and the power of God with nothing except faith. Like I said yesterday, faith is the substance of things we hope for, a conviction of things we do not see. And I mentioned that one of the things we do not see is the presence of God. Now some of you, or probably maybe all of you, if you've ever experienced moving from one destination or making a transition from one city and relocating yourself to another city, you probably understand what it means, that there are great challenges in moving from one place to another. As a priest, I have experienced it several times. You're leaving a parish where you lived and loved people to a place where you never know what to expect. From the best to the worst, all will be waiting for you. But faith tells you that no matter what happens, God will always make provision for you. And I think as Christians, as Catholics, we ought to be reminded that we live in a society whereby our culture encourages us to possess things in order to be secure. And that's good. But the danger is when we use that same mentality in approaching our faith, our relationship with God. There is a danger. Because the only true security we have in this life is God. Every other thing we have, our relationships, our businesses, our farms, our friendships, in one time or the other, there is a possibility that they will fail us. But the God whom we serve, whom our faith should be rooted in, will never fail us. And so as disciples, maybe not as radical as the disciples in today's gospel, the Lord sends us out. He sends us out into our families, into our businesses, into our places of work, into our families. He sends us out all with that great gift. Now, Mark's gospel really emphasizes the gift of faith, because as you would see progressively as we continue to read this gospel, you will find out that there are so many areas whereby the disciples, if you will, who have yet to encounter someone like Jesus Christ, even the people are yet to encounter someone like Jesus Christ, are amazed at his invitation. And one of the many examples, they are faced with 5,000 men, not counting women and children. And what does he say? Feed them. You remember what they had? They had only 5 loaves and 2 fish. Try that today and see what happens. But there is something which God always wants us to see. God will never send us out without giving us a gift. No matter how small that gift might seem, it is sufficient for him to work his wonders, to work his miracle through us and in us. But unless we recognize the gift he has given to us, because as Catholics, as Christians, we have the gift. He has given us that gift. The problem is sometimes we do not recognize the power of that gift. Hence, today he invites us. Go out with nothing. Do not pack any bag, but only hold on to one thing. Hold on to the faith he has given to you. He has given to me. And that faith is constantly nourished every time we encounter him in the Eucharist. Today, as we celebrate the fact that he has called us to be his disciples, remember that that's just like the disciples in today's gospel. The reality is that anyone who encounters Jesus will always be sent out to go and spread the message. In fact, at the end of Mass, what do we say? Go forth, the Mass is ended. That means go forth and tell others about him whom you have encountered. Because true love can never be love unless it is shared with others. We pray that Jesus Christ in the Eucharist will strengthen our faith as we journey with him this day. Please stand as we pray.